Sul Simmers, my name is Darth Jeswick and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be building my grandparents' house in The Sims 4. We have the basic layout of their house. It's not an exact copy of their house, but it is pretty close. But we're going to be starting off with the kitchen first. I'm using some Home Chef Hustle countertops, and I'm also going to use like the appliances and cabinets from the Home Chef Hustle pack. They have like a chokehold on me. I don't know what it is. They're just so good. I love the under cabinet lighting. We don't have that in any other pack, so the Home Chef Hustle ones are so great. I'm just putting in all the wallpaper that I need in the house. It's pretty close to what it looks like in real life. They do have like the old 70s floral style wallpaper and the original shag carpets from the house, so they look kind of like the one from the Pastel Pop kit, so that's what I'm using for the rugs. We're gonna move on to the living room now, though I'm not totally done with everything in the kitchen. I added a few trinkets here and there in the kitchen later on. So right now I'm just trying to get like all the stuff that I know that they have, and then I'll go through and clutter later. I know the living room is going to seem a little weird because of the layout, but this is how it is in real life. There's like my grandparents have their recliners on one side, and then there's a couch, and in between them is like a small little hallway that leads down into the area with the fireplace and like a small crafting room because my grandma does quilts. And there's like a second little living room down there that has like all my grandma's crafting supplies because she's huge into like quilting and sewing and knitting and things like that. Unfortunately, we don't have quilting in The Sims, but it would be cool if we did. I also have two of the Industrial Loft Kit archways in the living room. One of them leads to the office, and then the other one leads to the second living room. And because my grandma is like so huge into crafts, I'm gonna make this her like little nifty knitting craft room. This is also where she keeps her computer, so I'm gonna put the computer in here too. In real life, this is a lot more cluttered than it is in the game. I wanted to make it functional for your Sims, but in real life, like you can just barely get in here. There's just so much stuff all over the grounds. You know how like old people like hoard stuff a little bit. She's like a hoarder of yarn and sewing supplies. But she's helped me a lot in the last few years making costumes and sewing my own clothes. I've mentioned it before, but I also do TikTok. My handle's also Darth_Jeswick if you want to follow me on there, but I do Star Wars cosplay, and that's kind of where I got my name Darth Jeswick from. And my grandma has helped me with like sewing patterns for some of my outfits for my Twilight costume, so I really appreciate her for that. My grandma's also the reason why I became a baker in general. She does a lot of cooking, and she always made us dinner whenever we were over there. I really didn't get to see them that much as a kid because my parents got divorced when I was really young, but I really loved their house because it was so cool looking. Like everything was like really vintage, and like they have not changed it since they moved in there. There is a couple things that I left out just because we don't have that kind of thing in the game. My grandpa is a taxidermist. Obviously we don't have any like taxidermied animals in the game unless it's like the skull from the werewolves pack, cowplant skull. And then I also think we have something from the horse ranch pack that has a skull on it, but he had like taxidermy deer. We don't have anything like that in The Sims, so I just decided to omit it. But he also enjoyed fishing, so I put up a couple of the decorations from Growing Together that are like fishing themed. But we're moving on to the family room now. My dad and his brother used to share this room as their bedroom, but after they moved out and went to college, they converted it into my grandma's sewing room. And then I'm also going to add the bookshelves from the Book Nook kit in here because they have like a massive collection of books. And then I am going to get rid of the room that was behind the family room, and then I'm going to convert it into a laundry room because they do have laundry in their house. I'm also stacking up books everywhere. My aunt also lives with my grandparents. She kind of helps take care of them and keep an eye on them. And when she moved in, she brought her own collection of books, and she's a very avid reader, so she has a lot of them. I gave them the mirror from the basement clutter kit just because it has a few like clutter items in front of it that I thought were cool. And I like the clutter, it makes it feel a lot more lived in. I chose the gray wallpaper and shingling from the Growing Together pack. I think in real life their house is actually tan, but I thought it looked better in gray, so that's what I went with. And then I'm also using these columns from the Get Together pack, and then I'm going to put a couple of rocking chairs on the porch as well as the barbecue. They don't actually have a barbecue on their front porch anymore, but they used to, and we used to like grill in the summer, so that was always fun, and that was like a good memory that I had of them. Usually we would stay at my dad's house from like Friday, Saturday, and then we'd go see my grandparents on Sunday and have like a family dinner with like my cousins. And they were like a couple years younger than us, so we'd always get to play and do some fun stuff outside if it was nice enough. So their house really brings a lot of nostalgia to me. Like I'm actually starting to like get a little welled up. I just have a lot of really fond memories there, and I really love them a lot. I've been thinking about them a lot and how much they mean to me, and this is kind of my way of like immortalizing them in my game. One of my favorite things about my grandma's house was that she has this garden where she grows like fresh fruit and vegetables, and she would always have like fresh carrots, and she would peel them off and give them to us so we could snack on them, and it was so amazing. I loved the carrots. My grandparents also used to raise horses and chickens, cows, goats, sheep, so I am going to put a chicken coop out back as well as a garden for your Sims to plant things. I also have a few smaller planters up on the deck so you can do stuff all year round. I'm just finishing up the landscaping here in the front of the house. Something weird about my grandparents' house is that they found an anchor and they just have it in their front yard. I don't know how they got it there, but they do. But we're going to be moving into the bedrooms now. The bedroom on the right here with the green bed from the Horse Ranch pack is my grandparents' bedroom. I don't think this is the actual layout of their bedroom. I can't actually remember what it looks like. It's been such a long time since I've been in there. I'm just kind of winging it here with their bedroom because I really don't remember what it looked like. The last time I remember being in their room, they had a water bed. So this was probably like 2002. And obviously we don't have water beds in the game, so we're going to go with this Horse Ranch pack one. And then I also gave them a dresser from, I want to say Parenthood. They don't have like a huge closet in their house, I don't think. I really don't remember. I do know for a fact that both my grandma and my aunt had an ottoman in their room, so I'm going to put those in at the foot of their beds. We're going to be moving on to the master bathroom right now, though. I really don't remember what their bathroom looked like. I've only been in it once, and like I said, it was probably way back in 2002 or 2003, so it's been a long time since I've actually seen it. We weren't really allowed in their room unless it was like an emergency and we needed to use their bathroom, but most people use the hall bathroom. And then I'm going to do the main hallway pretty much the same way. One of the things that I remember about their hallway bathroom is that they had a towel rack on the back of the door. I have a towel rack. I just didn't think it looked good on the back of the door in The Sims. Your Sims could walk right through it. I just didn't like the way that it looked, so I put it on the wall instead. And then I'm just going to add a couple of random clutter items to the counter and a rug to finish it off. If you couldn't already tell, I was really jumping around in this build because I would see something and be like, oh my god, I remember them having something similar to this, and I had to put it in. Like the clocks, I have to put in clocks everywhere because they had grandfather clocks in their living room, they had a clock in their kitchen, they had like multiple grandfather clocks. I don't know why. Does anybody else's grandparents have multiple grandfather clocks? Let me know. We're moving into my aunt's room right now. She's got tons of books, so we're going to add a few stacks from the Book Nook kit and then move on to... My aunt has a lot of clothes, so I'm going to add this little clutter pile of clothes on the ground because that's just who she is. And then I'm also going to add a bunch of other clutter items that I found. The umbrella stand, the phone and keys, the cookbooks. My grandma has lots of them. I also added the game board to the counter because they did have a few games here and there. And then I'm going to move on to the outside garden here. This is where I'm going to put my chicken coop, and I thought about putting the cow shed, but it was just way too big. I'm also going to add an AC unit and then a couple of beehives. My grandpa didn't actually have bees, but he would have loved to raise bees. I know my dad wants to do that eventually. This is what I have for our garden though. I did kind of section it off so that your chickens won't like run around inside your house, because they will if you don't have them like in a fence and have that fence locked. That's just about all for today's video. I'm just going to add the terrain paint and then we'll be getting on with the tour. But that is all for today's speed build. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button because it really helps out. I upload a couple videos a week, so subscribe and hit the bell button to get a notification every time I post a new video. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in the next video. Dag dag!